Hello, my name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. This week I am going to do things a little bit differently. It's going to be a tiny little podcast with just a little bit of knitting and a lot of vloggy footage. So I hope that if you've got some time, you are going to snuggle up with a nice warm beverage or cold, depending on where you are, and you will grab your project of choice, and I hope that you will join me today as I share with you some footage from London and then a little bit of my travel knitting. So let's get to today's vlogcast. I don't know, whatever we will call it. Hello, it is the evening of January 29th, 2023, and Scout is up on the couch with me. I am just preparing to fly to Toronto tomorrow morning, and I have just uploaded all of the video footage that I wanted to share with you from November. So back in November when I went to London, there were a few days that I captured on video but haven't shared yet. So there is Windsor Castle, there is the Tower of London, and there is Hampton Court. So the Royal Historic Palaces as well as Windsor Castle and some walking around, chattering. Also, there's a boat ride. So it's a lot of footage, but because I'm going away this week and I'm not going to be able to have my usual knitting podcast, I am going to pop this in instead. But before I share that footage, I just thought I would quickly share. This project is not coming with me. It's a little bit big. The discount airline we are flying, we don't have a lot of room in our luggage, and this is my carry-on. It's an old diaper bag actually, and it just fits the required measurement, so I don't have room to pop in my beautiful Arconia sweater. And this is a test knit for Amy Loudon. I am almost done the main body. I am in the ribbing right now. I have about 10 more rounds and then bind off on this part, and then I have the sleeves and the neckline to do. So that is going to go in a project bag, and I kind of cheated. I was supposed to go upstairs and get one. I just grabbed the project bag that my Macaulay cardigan was in last. So anyway, I'm going to pop this in here with the pattern, and it is going to patiently wait for me. I'll be back in less than a week, and at that point I will then work very hard on finishing off this beautiful Arconia sweater. So this project stays here, and you know what? There's a counter over there. I better make sure I put that in there. I showed you my bag here. I have two knitting projects that I am bringing to Toronto with me, and I've also got my notions pouch. So in my fun little bird leg bags sheet bag, I have my Mind the Gap mittens, and the pattern I am using is Tin Can Knits, the World's Simplest Mitten pattern. The World's Simplest Mittens, and this is a free pattern. It is fabulous, and it will be coming with me along with the appropriate knitting needles and a stitch save, because you never know when you might need a stitch save. So that is one of the projects that I'm going to bring with me to Toronto, and the plan is to finish these in Toronto, to gift them to my mother, and then just the project bag and whatever leftover yarn is left, and of course the needles will come back with me. So that is going to go in my bag. And then the other project, I have popped it in my beautiful Alice in Wonderland bag. And this is a bag that Christine, my friend in England, made for me as well. And it says handmade. It's got a lovely little tag on it. And I am going to be working on a goose eggs quilt square or block. And I am using Arundel, which is this beautiful blue. It's a Nora George Yarns, and it's got some sparkle in there. I'm not sure if it's catching or not. And I am using Amy's shawl, and this color is not looking as pretty in this light because I've got the aught light going, and then I've got the night. It's night, it's dark here right now. Anyway, so these are the two colors that will make up my next block. And I'm going to take that with me and work on Daniel George's Goose Eggs quilt block 2. Yes, I will let you out in a moment, puppy. Anyway, that is in here, folding it over. So 2 projects coming with me. As I said, limited space. And my plan for this evening is to edit and add this little snippet in, upload, and then put this out for Thursday. So right now it is Sunday night, and then on regular podcast release date, I will put this out. We are going to go to London as soon as I let the puppy outside. There we go, she's outside. Okay, now we go back in time all the way to the end of November, where we will pick up in London, and my mom and I are doing lots of walking, lots of touring around, and I'm going to share some of the footage. So if you just wanted to see what knitting I'm bringing to Toronto, I will see you in another week. But if you want to see some of the things that we got up to when we were in London, it is following. It is going to be a really long video. Anyway, I will see you for a regular podcast in a week. Until then, see you later. Good morning. It is Monday, November 28th, and we are at the Air Force's Memorial, and I have climbed to the top of the memorial, and straight in front of me now I can see Heathrow, and there's a plane just taking off. As I was out here, if you can hear the beautiful birds sing, you're not going to believe what they are. They are bright green. I think they're cockatiels. So very interesting that there are green cockatiels just making that beautiful noise. And I can see the top of it in a tree. Maybe I'll catch it in flight, but this isn't the best camera for zooming. Anyway, we are overlooking from the Windsor area out across to London. Heathrow is in front of us, and way in the distance is London. But it's a beautiful sunny day here today. And I'll just do a quick pan around. Sunshine in the sky, always wonderful. And up in the air, a plane that has just taken off from London Heathrow. The grass is gorgeous and green, and we are going to walk to Old Windsor today, and we'll see. Oh, I'm just realizing that Windsor Castle is just in the distance over there. So we're going to try to walk there today. I think we can do it. It's just around noon. The sun starts to go down about 4-ish. Starts to get a bit twilighty. So we've got a few hours ahead of us, and today we're going to explore the local area near where we're staying. So Windsor Castle over there, and Heathrow in London that way. Today I am out and about near where our Airbnb is, and we are just at the Air Force Memorial, and that's behind us, and it has the names of airmen who died in the war, and many of whom I believe their bodies weren't found. So there is a viewing point at the top over my head. There's a lot of noise going on with the planes, and they're doing yard work outside, but a beautiful, peaceful spot in the Windsor area. We have walked down to Old Windsor, and just along the Thames River here, there are little boat houses. As compared to, I live on a float house. These are boat houses, and the difference is that boats can be driven, and they are self-propelling units, while a float house is unable to steer itself and has to be moored in place. These ones could, of course, hook up and moor wherever they are and then move to another space, but this is really neat to see along the Thames, and there's definitely a bit of a current here. I'm not sure if this far inland is as affected with tides as in where I am, but it is neat to see that people do love to live along the river. Alternative housing, it's a great idea. And I'm going to catch up to my mom, who's up on the high road there. I'm taking the low road by the river, which is a little bit more rustic, shall we say. But what a beautiful view. We are a little further downstream, not much further, but just a different view here, and a couple of houseboats moored, and these are private mooring areas. And then of course there are some beautiful houses on the river as well. Look at the weeping willows, and we're very close to Heathrow, so every once in a while a plane will come by. There's one up in the sky up there. A moment ago there was one that was doing the turn to go in for a landing at Heathrow. But a nice quiet day on the river. In Canada, we're always complaining about the price of gas, and if this were in Canadian dollars, it would be about the same as it is in Ontario, but this is in British pounds, so definitely a little bit more, closer to the price in British Columbia. We have just come off of the regular sidewalk along the motorway, and we are walking on the long walk towards Windsor Castle. So Windsor Castle, I'm zooming in right now, looks a lot closer than it is. It has been, and I'll stop for a moment because it's jogging a bit, but it has been a long walk to get here, but there's some pretty at the end of this road, so I think worth the walk. Let me show you the other end of the long walk. Way, way, way down here, there is a statue on the top of the hill, and it has a horse on it. So just in the middle of the walk, there is a statue there. We could have walked from there as well. And just on the other side of the gates here are the grounds for Windsor Castle, and we also saw that they have some cows and other livestock because they do farming here, and we stopped in a shop
on the way in Old Windsor, and she had said that there was a lovely little place that they had a cafe. It was the Windsor Farm Cafe or something, or the Palace Farm Cafe, something like that, shop, and they sold meats and probably cheeses as well, and goods from the Windsor Farm area. The main roadway is there. It gets busy along the roadway, but it is nice to be on this long walk, and it's quieter here. So we're going to enjoy a little bit of a quiet walk up to Windsor Castle. We have made it up the long walk, and here is the castle in front of us. So Windsor Castle, a little bit nicer than the Windsor Palace in Windsor, Ontario, which is the casino that I shared with you in the summertime. But here are the gates. Some people have been leaving flowers at the gates. I was surprised to see that. I thought that would be more from September, but there is a beautiful view, and welcome to Windsor. We're going to go down this way and look through some shops, take a look around, and then a little bit later we will go back to our Airbnb. It has been a long walk, a long day, but it's been fun. We have just gotten to the High Street in Windsor, and look how beautiful it is. And there's a tree at the end, and beautiful. And the castle is behind, just getting illuminated. And wow. So pretty. This will be really gorgeous after dark too. It is just past 5:30, and it is beautiful in Windsor at nighttime. We're down another side street with all of the lights. Most of the shops here are closed now, although Marks and Spencer is still open, so we're going to go and get a few little groceries to bring back to our Airbnb. We need some milk and some other little treats too. But aren't these lights just beautiful? And that's the direction we are. My mother's going into the craft coop, and I am admiring the lights. Craft coop is still open. Windsor Royal Shopping. It almost looks like it used to be a rail station here. There may be a rail station around, I'm not really sure. Christmas trees, hanging lights, nutcracker up there. And not as many lights here, but a very pretty place. Most of the shops have closed. We just popped into Waitrose to pick up some goodies for one of my neighbors, and we bought a couple drinks to have with our supper later. But it's very quiet here now. Oh, I see the train station is over there. I see Windsor Train and a ticket office. So I wasn't too far wrong in saying it felt like a bit of a rail station. Here is Paddington Bear. We are just about to leave Windsor for the evening, and a quick look down at the lights, and right above my head is this gorgeous lit up crown, and I'm going to turn around and share with you this beautiful Christmas tree. And just on the other side over here is Windsor Castle, and the main street, and there's the Victoria statue. They've got some illuminations happening on the castle over here, and What a beautiful place Windsor is. We've really enjoyed our day. It was a long walk to get here, but I think we've really enjoyed our day.
I'll get a picture.
Oh, and there's a snowman. Tuesday, November 29th, and we have come to Kensington Palace. I purchased a membership, so we are going to be able to tour the royal palaces. Today is going to be Kensington Palace. Tomorrow will be Hampton Court Palace, and we're also hoping to get to the Tower too. But right behind me is Kensington Palace. And this had been the former home of Princess Margaret, and then Diana, Princess of Wales, lived here for a little while, and then also Kate and William and their children lived here until just recently. So we're going to go have a nice tour through the palace, maybe get a cup of tea, which is something that is obligatory in England, but there is the beautiful Kensington Palace. When on holiday, you should always check to make sure that the place you're going to is open. Unfortunately, Kensington Palace is not open today, so we have come down to the Tube and we're going to go to the Tower of London instead. Here we are at the Tower of London. You can see the Shard in the distance going up into the clouds because it is a gray day. And we're going to go around to the entrance, and hopefully we're here on time to get in so that we can walk around a little bit inside. Here we are in the Tower of London, of course by the toilets because it's been a long journey into the city, but we are inside the walls. I had brought my knitting with me, so I got bag checked. The Shard is just over here, and on the other side of this tree up there is the Tower Bridge. Before we look too far in the Tower of London area, I wanted to quickly show you this beautiful Tower Bridge that is just right here, and the view from outside. But I'm not going to go out the exit. I'm going to go back this way here, and I wanted to share with you a beautiful Christmas display. So lots of animals around the palace and Christmas trees. So we're going to go back and take a look around. I believe this is the White Tower here. Now, what I'm looking for right now are the ravens. I hear them. I hear one of them. But here we are. Do you hear it? The raven's not too far. We must go find it. Over on, I see, there's a couple of ravens there are a couple of ravens in the enclosure there, and I think those are just small blackbirds on the hill there, but there are a couple of ravens there, and I'm guessing there are probably some ravens up at the top. But just look over, and I'll zoom out a little bit. There is the Tower Bridge behind, and a couple of ravens in the enclosure.
And again, some of them serve as accommodation for some of the board. In the centre here, we have the Beecham Tower, ladies and gents. Once you've had a good look down the stairs, make sure you go upstairs as well, because in there, behind that tall latch window, you'll find some really notable inscriptions that have been carved into the wall. Some of them quite ornate, quite beautiful. But some of the prisoners who actually served and lived in there, some of which are over 400 years old. Right, further on here, we've got two green doors. The first one you see here, that's the Tower Doctor's House. Now, go through this house where it's met by the duty supervisor of the Royal Guard, and one of our sergeants, either our chief or our jailer. They are then given the door when they see the password. That password is then in effect for the next 12 hours. And what happens is anybody that enters this area that is a ward of the Tower of London has to be like the horse and head, one of these seven, that password, or I will be challenged by them. Right, but instead of doing so, we go for the peace deal and the truce against the order. What is forward and we come back to England again against the order. Now,
We have just been to see the crown jewels, and of course you can't bring cameras in there, but they were beautiful, sparkly, and all of them were on display. And as the coronation approaches, some of them will be taken out for the coronation, or pretty much most of them. I think he said probably all but 5 will remain in the collection. But nice to be able to come in late November and see all of that beautiful regalia and all of the crown jewels. Right now we're just in the tower and London in the background. I was thinking I was coming up right where the Tower Bridge was. You can kind of see it, just that little gold spire up there, but otherwise no, can't see it. Where I'm standing in the Tower of London is kind of interesting. These are residences within the tower, and then just over here there are some administrative offices as well, because a place like this has a lot going on and a lot of history. We have done a bit of touring through the Tower of London and coming down from, I don't think they're quite cloisters, but here is the bridge, and it's really looking a little bit Christmassy here. So very pretty. And then we've got the beefeaters doing their duty right now. Actually, I don't think these are the beefeaters, but the guards. And the beefeaters have probably finished for the day for doing the tours. But very, very pretty with the Christmas trees. The beefeater was telling a story about the church here. There is a tiny little step which is about 1 inch, and many people fall over it. So my mother's going to try and see if she can trip as she goes into the church. I've not seen any ravens other than the ones that are in the enclosure down there. When I was here before, they were on the lawns and ruling the roost, but I haven't seen any out and about. But we've also been looking in the sculptures. Anyway, this is a wonderful view, and even though I haven't shown you as much as I would have liked, especially the crown jewels, I hope that you've liked a little bit of footage from this area of London. And look at that gorgeous Tower Bridge all lit up as the sun is starting to go down. We're just before 4 o'clock, so sundown I think was a couple minutes to 4 today. And the jewels are just inside where the guards are standing outside of. And here is the chapel that my mother is going to go and try and see if she can fall in. Hopefully she doesn't. That would not be a good thing. This is the little step here that the beefeater said a lot of people trip over. So to be very careful of that, because he said about 100 people, if they have 100 in their group, about 20 of them will trip. And the guards are doing their duties, patrolling and marching. One is just outside of his shelter. There we are. I'm not even going to try to make them smile. Very simple Christmas lights on the White Tower. It is starting to get dark now, so we're heading towards the exit, but just admiring those last little bits of Christmas lights and reading any other little signs that we can get more information about too as we're going. Four o'clock, closing time. Just standing beside the White Tower. Very Christmassy. Get out, everybody. It's time to go. That's what that bell says. Head towards the bridge. Go home now. Get on the tube.
She went to the bathroom.
I still didn't see any ravens, but as I said, I think they were in their. I don't know that it's a cage so much as it was a shelter for them.
Yeah, they were in the shelter.
So
Careful of that.
all the cobblestones. So anyway, we're just walking towards the exit, towards the tower. Oh, there's a cafe here, but we didn't get anything to eat. Oh, look at this. There are more Christmassy looking things too.
Look like dresses.
They look like Christmas tree dresses.
Headless queens.
That's, well, a little bit morbid, isn't it? Yes. That may be exactly what it is, and I think that's what it is. Oh, that is neat, isn't it? So, Henry VIII and his queens. We are just on the way out, and we've seen these really interesting Christmas decorations. So here we have Henry VIII in the middle, surrounded by his wives. So we have humble and loyal Catherine of Aragon. Then we have the most happy Anne Boleyn, bound to obey and serve Jane Seymour. And then on the other side, God send me well to keep Anne of Cleves, no other will than his, Catherine Howard, and to be useful in all that I do, Catherine Parr. And that is definitely a most interesting Christmas display as a plane goes overhead, and just taking a look at the weather vanes on the White Tower. Really, really pretty. Anyway, we will be heading out the door. I keep saying that. And who knows what comes up next. And look at this. We're back where we started, at the toilets. Because sometimes that's how it goes. I'm thinking we might go up to Regent Street and Oxford Circus. I'm not really 100% sure what we're going to do next, but I definitely want to see a good view of the bridge in a moment. We just had a lovely baguette at Paul's Boulangerie, and I had one of these millefeuilles. Oh, it was so delicious. And I also had the vegan trimming sandwich. It's now gone. And my mother had, I think she had the sandwich pavot poulet, chicken sandwich. And then we had a beautiful view of the tower, which of course you can't see through the window very well, but we'll go outside in a moment. The Shard is now fully visible. The clouds have lifted a little bit, and look how beautiful it looks in the evening time. Now, one thing about London, everybody knows about the Underground and the red buses, but there is also the river is part of London Transport, and there are boats that go along the River Thames, and it's kind of a neat way to see London. It's a little bit more. There's also the gondola, and I'm trying to remember the Air Emirates gondola, and that's another way to see London, but the river is definitely worth that extra little price. So we are going to take the river boat right now, and look how wavy the Thames is right now. It is really rocky, and we're going to have a lovely view. So there are lots of docks, and we're going to head downstream that way towards Westminster and the London Eye, Waterloo area as well. But definitely nice to do something a little bit different. I'm so busy focusing on the bridge that here is the Tower of London at night. There's a little bit of a bounce on this dock. I'm happy to say that at home our shared docks don't bounce this much, but there's the tower. Christmas. And we had supper over at Paul Boulangerie, and it was lovely. Just right near the tower. So we are just waiting for the boat to come and just taking a quick glance across the river at the wonderful Christmas decorations that are up. It's always nice to see London in a little bit of a different way. I am really feeling like I'm at home. There is a boat just on the river there, and it is pulling a very large barge. This is the Thames Clipper right here, and this is one of the boats that we're going to be getting on, but this tugboat here has a rather large load. And again, I'm feeling like I'm at home on the float, watching the river go by. This is a bit wavier than at home. Here comes a sightseeing boat. The London Eye River Cruise is going by. So if this is anything like at home, we are going to move a little bit. You're definitely feeling the waves on this pier as we wait for our boat to come. But yes, there is a tugboat in the distance pulling a barge with goods of some sort or other. There's also a military boat that is always moored here, and people can tour on it, walk through it. There are some people still on it right now, I guess finishing up for the day. I'm loving these office buildings and the colors on the floor, on all the different floors. Purples, yellows, blues, pinks, oranges. It's like a little rainbow office building. We are just going to edge onto the Thames Clipper. Last look at the bridge. Very jewel-like. We are not going to sit outside, we're going inside. And here we are at the front of the boat, and we're just going to go for a lovely little boat ride down the Thames. We're just about to approach London Bridge. It's all lit up. And then Blackfriars Bridge is behind that, and also the Millennium Bridge is near here too. This route is definitely a little slower than taking either a bus or the underground, because you do have to zigzag across the river into the different stops. But it is a different way to see the city, and sometimes it's worth that extra bit of time. We will be coming up on the Globe Theatre very soon as well. And we'll see the London Eye on this route. In front of us, there is a bridge where there are white moving lights. That is, I believe, the Millennium Bridge, and that's a walking bridge that allows people to go from one side of London to the next. And then behind that is a train bridge so that the transport can go across as well. And over to my left is the historic Globe Theatre. And maybe we'll get a better view of it in a second.
Passengers will exit at the back of the boat.
Right here is the Globe Theatre. And on the other side we have St. Paul's Cathedral, just behind the scaffolding. So, lots to see as we go down the Thames. Here we go. I don't know if you can see the people walking across the Millennial Bridge. I have yet to do that, and I probably should make a point of it on this visit. And then we're going across to the next water station, and that is Blackfriars Pier. And there is St. Paul's without scaffolding, just a building in front of it. Lots of color out the window. There is the London Eye just around the river bend. And we will be seeing the Houses of Parliament and the Elizabeth Tower momentarily. In the meantime, just some of the night lights in London. Lit up trees. The bridges are lit up. In the distance, not only do I see the eye, I see the clock on the Elizabeth Tower. Just peering behind those buses going across the bridge. And as we round the bend, we get a better view. And a London iconic bus going over the bridge over top of us, or just in front of us. And there is that iconic clock and the Houses of Parliament are right there too. And here is the London Eye just on the other side of this bar in the middle of the boat. Gorgeous skyline of London. Pulling into another stop, and then we will go on to our destination stop, which is Westminster. The Houses of Parliament don't look like they're lit up very much, but bounce. We're just pulling into a dock. The Elizabeth Tower is right in front of us. And here we are. There is the London Eye on the left, all lit up in purple. All the people going around very, very slowly. And Waterloo Station is not too far from there. And then over on the opposite side of the river is the Elizabeth Tower, the Houses of Parliament, Westminster Abbey, but all looks very, very dark on that side of the river right now, other than, of course, the clock, which is lit up. So we can see that it is almost 6 p.m. coming up on. And we'll be coming into station just over there. And New Scotland Yard is right there too. The Thames Clipper has just pulled in and left us right where the eye is across the river. So we came from that direction there, and along the riverbank it is lit up with string lights. New Scotland Yard is just on the other side of the barriers, and the clock is up there telling us it is shortly after 6 p.m. What are we going to do with the rest of the evening? Who knows? I like to fly by the seat of my pants. I'm thinking maybe we will go up to Regent Street again and see what we can get up to. There goes the boat back from whence it came. And these things, they're called the River Clipper for a good reason. They can really move. There it goes. And look, there is the London Eye and all of the beauty of London. We have made our way to Regent Street. We just took a red bus there, and we're just going to have a little bit of a browse before we head back for the evening. But we've been on the boat, we've been on a bus, and we have been on an underground today. We'll go on another one a little bit later. And look, hanging stars. Along, I think this is Oxford. There are hanging stars for as far as the eye can see. Isn't that neat? Beautiful. We have made it to Hambley's Toy Store. We're on the top floor, which is where the Lego is, because my boys, they like Lego. And look, they have an Elizabeth Tower done up in Lego, or thereabouts. And then they have fun architecture. Here's a London one. That's kind of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna look around, see what they have here. I was thinking of getting Nathaniel a little treat that has a London theme. And look at this Lego. A little corgi and a Queen Elizabeth Lego. I absolutely love how these angels' wings go up and down like they are flying. We are currently waiting for a bus. So we are at a bus stop, and lots of angels flying down the street. We are just at Trafalgar Square here and heading towards Waterloo Station. We just passed Canada House, and we've been on this bus before going towards Waterloo. We're going to head to the station, take our train home, and probably have a good sleep because we've done lots of walking today. And there's the National Gallery over there, and the beautiful fountains. We are just going to go across the bridge, and we will see the London Eye and Parliament, and there's the river that we went for
Yes.
a little clipper ride on.
Really good views.
There it goes.
When we first started coming, the Oxford
Beautiful London
on
at
this side of
night.
the
Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 30th. Where has November gone? Last day. And today we are at Hampton Court Palace. We've just left the rail station and we're walking along a very busy bridge road to Hampton Court Palace.
And I'll just pop in over here so that you can see the Thames and Hampton Court Palace in the background. When we came in 2016, Nathaniel, Greg, and I had a lovely time here. There's a seagull having fun in the water there. But this is the Thames, and in the summer we rode the Clipper last night. The Clipper comes up here as well. So here's where we're going today. At Hampton Court Palace, there is a skating rink here, and Amy of Taylor S Studios has a yarn called Skating at the Palace, and she's based it, I think, on this rink here, and I think the lights at Hampton Court Palace. So here is Hampton Court Palace. We were just in the ticket office, although we have a membership, and we're gonna pop into the palace for the day, but had to point out the skating rink. Not too many people on it right now. We are in the quadrangle at Hampton Court Palace, and one of the quadrangles. There's another one over here. And you'll see these little white tents. They are going to be having kind of like a Christmas market or a fair that's going to be happening. I guess more like a Christmas market and the festive fair. And that's going to be happening, I think, this weekend or in the next few days. So they have lots of booths set up, and I won't be here for that. I see a Christmas tree on the other side of tents there too. Anyway, this is Henry VIII's favorite palace, I believe. And I'll get a little bit inside later. Here we are in Hampton Court Palace, and the rooms are amazing. There are fabulous tapestries on the walls, and of course, large fireplaces to keep the places warm. They have these amazing window seats, and there are blinds actually inset into the wood, and the blinds are down here. These would not have been here many, many years ago, but the gardens outside are just pristine and pretty. Amazing. Let's see if we can peek under there to get a good look of the garden. Oh good, there's people outside, which means we can go out and explore a little bit later. But for now, inside these gorgeous rooms. Hampton Court Palace sports the Royal School of Needlework, and we're just a few minutes from shop opening, but I definitely want to pop in the shop. But before we do that, we are going to look at the gardens, and the gardens at Hampton Court Palace are amazing. When we were here in 2016, I took some photographs of Nathaniel under these trees, and the way that the light comes through these shaped trees is amazing. And there was a stream of sunlight coming through. It looked like he's being touched by rainbows. It was absolutely beautiful. But these gardens are amazing. As you can see, there's some tents for the fair that they're going to be having here, but just the way that the light comes through these branches can be pretty spectacular. But imagine being the gardener for Hampton Court Palace. There's also a fountain up ahead, and it's just a lovely place to be. I believe this is the tree that I took pictures of Nathaniel in, I guess 6 years ago now, and the light coming through and the branches. Fountain in the middle. There's some seagulls, and I don't know if there are any ducks. The Thames is farther afield, but it is just a magical place, and it would be really nice to come for the fair but unfortunately we won't be able to fit that in because I think we'll be home by that point. The other day I was noticing that several of these trees have these little balls of green in them. And today, as we are looking, and we were just talking with some people, we have discovered what these little balls of green are. And I'm going to take you right now under the mistletoe. So a big mwah kiss to you and a very Christmassy feel in the air as we are looking at the mistletoe, and you can see the white berries are on them. And the group of people we were just talking to was saying they're a bit of a parasite and they link themselves onto trees, and during the summer they're hidden, but in the wintertime you can see the berries and the leaves. And this is mistletoe, and you can see this tree has quite a bit on it, but look at that. You learn something new every day. Some of you may have known this, but I didn't. And this is the one here that we were looking at, and you can see the white berries on this mistletoe. Really neat and definitely very fresh. We are just in the embroidery shop, and there are so many lovely little things here and strands of fiber, scarves, lots of books, pencil crayons, embroidery hoops. There's some lovely washi tape and étoile, thread, needles. Oh, a crafter's dream in here. Very small though. Hampton Court Palace also has a maze, so we are going to go into the maze and hopefully we will be able to find our way out. I don't think a maze is supposed to tell you which way to go, but it does say this way. I think we're supposed to get, you know, a little chance to explore through here. This way. So far, this maze has been fairly straightforward. I think we're just following a path, and I mean, I can see through there. There might be, no, there's not even a dead end there. I don't know that there's, okay, now the maze is getting interesting. Which way shall we go? I think this way. And my mom and my cousin are going a different way, and I don't know, will we meet up? Maybe, maybe not. They were saying, I said, oh, I see you, and they said they could see me because I am wearing bright orange. It's hard not to see me. Anyway, I'm over here. I think maybe I've taken the correct route. We shall see. My mother has gotten lost. I hear her through the maze. I'm continuing along. Oh no. This way or that way? Huh. I don't know. Left, right. I'm really bad with my left and right. I'm gonna go left. We'll see how we go. I see outside, maybe through the way. Oh goodness. How are we doing? And around the corner. Have I succeeded? Have I failed? I'm not really sure. When we approached, I saw that the exit was there, so it's pretty clear when I get to the exit. So when I get through, I will know. Oh, look at this. What is happening here? Looks like they are regenerating the pruning in the maze and redoing the maze a bit. So, I think this is a dead end. Or not. Oh, maybe not. Or maybe. Oh, goodness me. Maybe I'm stuck in here for the afternoon. It's very possible. But I don't think so. I think I'm almost through. Okay, there we go. My mom is just getting to the regenerating. Hello! Say Marco Polo! They're lost in the maze. Maybe they'll get out before I do, but oh no! Maybe it is never ending. I think I might be near the exit. Or not. Oh, I might be here tonight. You may find me tomorrow and I'll have chewed off my arm. Look at this, there's a little ladder in there that they do the pruning. Neat. Uh-oh, way out. Okay, here is the way out. And I won! I won! I'm out! And I am back in the gardens of Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court Palace is going to have a light installation from December 7th. So you can see they are starting to string up the lights. And there are some black lit animals along the main path as well. It would be so beautiful here at night. Although we walked through Green Park one evening and it was so dark, it might be a little bit scary at night here, and I don't know, there might be some haunted things that happen at Hampton Court Palace. So the Festival of Lights, it looks like they're going to put black lights on these animal faces. Here's a lion right here. And with the fluorescent, that will be fun to see lit up at night. And I think that's a lioness right there, and another lion. So all different colors of all the cats. Right now they're carrying some sort of decoration down the pathway. I don't know if you can see them carrying some sort of white horse or cat or something. I'm guessing that's for decorations, but that would be really neat to, I'm very zoomed in on that face there, but it'd be really neat to see these at night time. Seeing people carrying these white things down the way. So what they are lions that will light up, and polka dot lions. There we go. You can see the plugs are there, so they'll look really pretty at nighttime. Look at this beautiful, majestic lion. Her face is so animated. I love it. When we came earlier today, there were very few people on the rink, but look at this. It is a happening place. I'm just about to go into Henry VIII's apartments, and just wanted to share the Christmas decorations. London really does do it right. The tapestries are lovely and go all the way around the room. And up top, the stained glass is exquisite. And then of course there are stags' heads on the walls. And they're not even finished yet. And then there is the ceiling. Really quite an amazing space. This tapestry here is all about Isaac and
those little heads might fall on you. They're called Eve's chocolates.
Being saved as Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac. But look at these. Beautiful.
I'm sitting
And
here.
at the top,
These tables do a nice job. Tudor dancers are often very flamboyant. The
Abraham,
dancing went on there for 2
David,
hours.
and I can't pronounce Latin, but we've got Abraham and Isaac there. Look at this space. Even behind the door. We've walked through Henry VIII's apartments, and when we've come out, we've come to a stairwell, and I'm just loving these little stairway Christmas decorations. I can blow them. We have these sliced baked oranges, and then a lantern. So simple, festive, and adds that little bit of cheer and light as you go up the stairs. The palaces really are a little bit chilly, aren't they? Hampton Court really is an interesting place to visit. I'm just in the game room, and this is a game of Hazard, which is a dice game of chance. Over here, no game set up. This one is called Brag, a 3-round card game. And this one is Game of the Court that they have here, and people can play them. And let's take a look out the window. Beautiful window. Looking out over the fountain and the river beyond that. It's started to get dark. It is coming up on 3:30, and we will be heading across the street for supper soon because Hampton Court Palace closes at 4 o'clock right now, and we have a nice dinner booked at the Mute Swan, which is a lovely restaurant across the street from Hampton Court Palace. Anyway, I think that's all for now, but beautiful palace inside, beautiful outside, a lovely place to visit. And we saw mistletoe. One last thing in the game room. All of the beautiful art, not only on the walls, but on the ceiling as well. All that's missing is a nice fire in the fireplace to keep us warm while we sit and play games and listen to music. Can't leave this room. Do you see it? Behind these people here who I'm rudely passing, there is a hidden door into the games room. And I'm sure there's lots throughout the palace that I haven't seen, but something fun to see now. My cousin and I just played a game of Hazard. Here are the dice. So our numbers were win on 4, lose on 7, and guess what? I won. So, fun game, fantastic view. This little robin has just been pointed out to me. Look how tiny and cute he is. They look very different from the robins in North America, and they're a little faster too. But they are very precious, aren't they? So he's keeping guard of the palace and making sure that everybody leaves by, oh, and there he flies onto the chain there. He is just so adorable. One thing I learned before coming over here is robins in Britain are associated with Christmas, while in North America I think we tend to associate robins with spring because they come back after winter.
Okay.
And cardinals are associated more with Christmas. Yeah, but oh my gosh, he's so cute. I want him to turn around. There he is, little red breast on the garden hose. They're just working on the fountain right now, but I'm glad he got pointed out because he is so sweet. What a glorious way to end our day at Hampton Court Palace. The skating rink is all lit up. The Christmas tree is beautiful and just simply white. The sun is going down, and over this side we've got Hampton Court Palace lit up. The moon is rising, and it was a fabulous day. I actually had dropped one of my Persephone mittens, and as we were walking out, I found it. So it's been a good day. But look at this! Skating at the palace. We're gonna go get some food, and it's been a really lovely day. We have come to a beautiful restaurant called the Mute Swan. We are in the upstairs level, and it's not very busy right now, which is nice. The window's out the way. Hampton Court Palace is there. When I came here in 2016, the meal was delicious, so I had to come back to the Mute Swan. We are just at the railing. Look at these beautiful Christmas lights. There's little twinkly lights in front of us too, not focusing. And the bar, some artwork. It is such a lovely place. And then after dinner, you can take the spiral staircase down. Don't drink too much wine. Don't ask me, I don't know about that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Spiral staircase down and out the door. Lovely place to be. Anyway, this is the Mute Swan across from Hampton Court Palace. It is the end of the evening. We have had a lovely meal at the Mute Swan. We are heading towards the train, but behind me, Hampton Court Palace and all the skaters. I hope that you have enjoyed our little outing, and I will see you tomorrow, December 1st, Vlogmas. Wow. We are back at our Airbnb after a wonderful day at Hampton Court Palace. The moon is in the sky, the gates are closed behind us, and I'm just going to quickly show you the mews where we are staying. And they've decorated the trees. They replaced some lights, so it's nice and bright now, and it looks beautiful in here. So we have been staying here for a little over a week, and we've got a little less than a week left to go. But this has been a really, really lovely location for an Airbnb. There's a few cars going by now, but usually it's very, very quiet here. But look how beautiful it looks. I have just finished editing all of the footage. It was so nice to sit and watch back those last few days of November, and it really wasn't all that long ago, but sometimes it seems like so long ago. I hope that if you lasted this long, you enjoyed the footage of the places we visited in London and my little snippets here and there and chatter throughout. I am looking forward to seeing you for a regular podcast next Thursday. And while I'm not taking a whole lot of knitting with me on holiday, I hope to have a little bit done. I did finish my Mind the Gap socks earlier today, but I'll share that with you the next time we have a proper sit down. Wishing you a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.